Today is a tough day because right after I finish up, producing the show at the end and getting everything up where I need to get it up, for the past 5 days, I've just been able to put on CBS or TNT or whatever and watch hoops and have a good time. Can't do that today. We're following up. We're on this hangover of hoops here. So I said, all right, we got to talk about the worst day afters. Thinking about whether it's in sports or social circles or holidays, whatever it is, the worst day afters, whatever the event is. All right. And I came up with 8 that I feel really, really strongly about. All right. And on this show, we go from the bottom one to number 1. All right. So we'll start with number 8, worst day afters, the day after a 3-day weekend. So immediately you think Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. Those are the 2 big ones that pop into my head. Maybe 4th of July. But the day after a 3-day weekend on that Tuesday, because you probably went really hard Saturday, Sunday, and then like a little bit of Monday, even a little bit of like a Monday fun day action. And that is a dark, dark day on that driving to work or logging into work on that Tuesday. I guess the only redeeming factor in why this one is so low is because even as bad as it feels to be like, 3-day weekend's over, you're like, it's already Tuesday, 1 day closer to the weekend. That's the only redeeming thing about that. And it's like, I think that some people would probably say like the day, you could say in this spot, the day after vacation, if you're gone for like a week. But I think by that time, you've gotten vacationed out of you, week, and like you're tired of traveling, like you're ready to be home, you're ready to get back in your routine. 3-day weekend, it's just the tease, right? You're just getting into vacation mode and then it's taken away from you and just ripped right out underneath you. So it's a weird transition for your body and your mind that you have to get out of it very quickly, because on Saturday you're like, I'm never going back to work. You're waking up on Saturday for 3-day weekend. Let's go. Yeah, not going to work ever again. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, Sunday night, it's like, fuck, maybe I can do something tomorrow for like brunch, but I got to start getting stuff together, man. And it comes quick. It comes real quick. So that's number 8. Number 7, I think this one's a little interesting. Let me know what you think. Number 7, the second day of school. Hear me out. First day of school, when you think of the long journey ahead, once you get that out of your mind, like the first day of school can be kind of exciting. It's a bullshit day. You're taking you're taking your pictures, like you're like getting used to your classes. It's the syllabus. Everybody is like looking good in their new clothes, and you get to break out your new school shoes, and you got a fresh cut, and people got tans still going on, and you've seen people that you haven't seen maybe for a little bit. That one chick, that you back in May when you went to summer break was like, and then you come back on the first day of school, and you're like, oh wow, I think I might ask her to homecoming. Is it too early to ask somebody to homecoming? That's all on the first day of school. It's like, it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. But then the second day of school, you're like, oh, this is real now. Second day of school, first period, all of a sudden the teacher is like 2 chapters into the first lesson plan, and you're like taking notes, and it's over. You get the first math assignment assigned to you. And that's a really, really tough wall of reality that you're like, saddle up, boys and girls, saddle up, because we got a whole 180 days of this or whatever. Give me the Labor Day weekend, that first 3-day weekend, and then we go back to number 8. So that's number 7. Let's see what people are saying so far. Anybody say anything? Nobody say anything. It's fine. All right. Number 6, day after a bachelor party. Bachelor, bachelorette party. Again, similar to like a 3-day weekend. You've been looking forward to it for so long, so much fun. You go hard. You're not thinking about it. You're just living in the moment. And then like you come back and your body completely shuts down and your mind is still mush. And you're kind of have that weird like sick feeling in your stomach when you look forward to something for so long and then it's done. So you have the combination of that plus physically, you just feel like shit after the bachelor party. Bad day after. Number 5, day after the Super Bowl. And it's not so much the day after the Super Bowl, it's like for me, the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl into when I go to sleep and then like wake up the next morning, I'm like, damn, it's over. I can get over it pretty quickly. But that fourth quarter where you're like, shit, we're done. Especially in like a blowout game like it was this past year. The reality of it hitting you and it's, okay, this is the last football we're getting until September. That's tough. That's real tough. Number 4, beer before liquor. The day after I'm a big believer in this, and people like to make fun of me and they don't like to agree. And they like to tell me to, like sack up and shit like that. It still doesn't work for me. If I go beer before liquor for a day, and I start the day and I'm having a few cold ones, and then all of a sudden like one of your friends shows up, and then they're like getting shots for people, or you're like switched to mixed drinks for some reason. It's the only booze that's there, dude. The next day is just absolute hell. You need the pickle power there. You need the pickle juice power, big time after beer before liquor the day after, because that nasty, just like acidic fucking there's something growing in your stomach feeling, and the constant like state of like a sweat that you're in the next day after, it's absolutely miserable. You gotta do liquor before beer, man. Always get the base coat of liquor, and if you drink, and that I might have put that higher, honestly. It's been a while since I've had one of those days, but I just remember how awful those are. So that's why it's at number 4. Number 3, what brought up this list after the first rounds of March Madness, because it's such an extensive list. It's such an extensive weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or in this case, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 straight days of just nothing but basketball. You constantly have something to watch. You constantly have something to care about, to bet on, to get you through, to look forward to. And then on Tuesday, am I going to watch This Is Us tonight? I mean, tough transition there. But then you start looking at, then you're like, oh, wow, we have the full weekend where it's just the weekend games, and now there's games during the day then, and you start making your weekend plans, and that gets you through. But today's going to be hard. Tomorrow is going to be hard probably too, because we're missing that void of basketball. Number 2, day after a wedding. And only the day after the wedding if it's your wedding or you're in the wedding party. Now you're saying, wow, is that a shot at your wife? Is that a shot at you didn't enjoy your wedding? No, complete opposite of that. It was the best day ever, was the best time ever. But that's why the day after sucks, because you have usually a year or so of buildup, excitement. The montage scene in a movie where like the girl is, going to dress shop with like her mom and her friends, and the dad's getting stressed about the money, and you're, filling out, you're looking at the RSVPs, and you're like looking at different food options that you want, and everybody's excited. And, it's like playing like, going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. And it's for like a year, right? That montage scene. And that's all you're thinking about. That's literally all your discussions are outside of like work, and even sometimes in work. It's just like the wedding. And so when it's your wedding, and then the day after, and you're probably hungover, and then everything is done, there's some real post-wedding blues there. There is. Especially if you don't like go on the honeymoon to wherever you're going, like right after. Like I didn't do that. We waited like a month to kind of like, settle down and then get our grips. And then we went about a month later. But I was not expecting that. And that shit is rough, man. because you just so quickly go from like the best day ever with all of your favorite people in the world having so much fun all together that never happens to then the next day everybody's like hungover and feeling like shit and everybody's like departing and going back, to regular life. That sucks. That is really hard. The high to here to low to there. That's why it's number 2. And then number 1, big Christmas guy. You know me. Day after Christmas, December 26th. If that's your birthday, sorry, just wipe it off the calendar. Like the most BS, like unproductive, just like what the hell is going on in the world day is December 26th. I mean, that's a low of low. And it's a low of low, especially as a kid, but then even as an adult. By the 27th, there's like a bowl game on that you want to watch, or, maybe it's like an NFL Sunday or whatever. You're like, all right, I'm finally like, now we're making New Year's plans. Plus that week in between Christmas and New Year's is pretty much fake anyway. So no big deal. But 26th, oof, the biggest hungover day without being hungover ever. December 26th, bad news. And again, I'm sorry if that's, your birthday or your anniversary or something, but that's not for me. That is not for me.